Hello Stampers, my name is Linda Bedinger and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Denver, Colorado, and this is my buddy Puccini who keeps me company in the craft room. He's my extra heartbeat in the house. And we have a very fun Christmas card for you today. It's pretty simple. It's just got a couple, one layer, and but I think you're going to like it. Let's just get started. This is my card, and I just stuck these two little pieces in because I was thinking about adding them to the new one. And so I was just sticking them in there, seeing what I thought, and I think maybe one of them would be good. Anyway, this is the card, and it is using leaves of holly and the holly berry dies. And there's the stamp set. And I am stamping only these two little pieces here. And on this one, I used the Christmas wishes, but on this one, I thought I would use the Merry Christmas from the, what is it, the Lights Aglow suite. And I thought it would be prettier across the bottom here. I've added some Parakeet party ribbon to this, and I had some fun with it. I kind of shredded the edges of it here, and I love the way it looks. It almost looks like additional greenery. So on this one, I'm going to do a double bow, so I have 4 of those things, and maybe add one of these little dies from the die set. And here are the dies, and I used, let's see, this die, which is the smaller of the leaves, and I cut one out in vellum. Well, actually cut 2 in vellum. I cut one in Mossy Meadow. I cut this solid one in evening evergreen, and I cut this one in old olive. I cut one in gold, and I cut a couple of these evergreen pieces that I thought might just dress this up. And I cut kind of a few of everything, so I'd have plenty of stuff on hand, and then we can decide what we want to use here to just change it up just a bit. So I used this, all of the smaller dies. So this leaf die with the detail, which I'm going to stick right back in here before I lose it. And then I stamped the holly berries, and then I used the little berry die. Now you can stamp it in one color and cut this out, and it cuts the detail in maybe a darker color. But I just stamped mine twice in the real red, and then die cut out the set of berries. And I've done mine ahead of time, but that is what we're using. And what it takes to make this card, you need a little bit of scrap of all of these colors. Again, old olive, evening evergreen, Mossy Meadow, and vellum is what I used for mine. And I have a real red base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. Then I have 2 layering pieces cut 4 by 5 1/4, one for the outside and one for the inside. And that is all the cardstock you're going to use. And unlike most of my cards anymore, no DSP, and we are doing these die cuts and popping them up and doing some other things, and then using the Parakeet Party ribbon, which is this very slim ribbon, but it's got such nice sparkle. I thought adding one more color of green doesn't seem to make much difference, and it brightens up the card just beautifully. And then I think I used some red rhinestones on this. I'm going to put my Merry Christmas down here at the bottom in real red, so I think I'll start with my stamping. And so I've got a couple of things to do with the stamping here. First, I need to put my Merry Christmas down here at the bottom, and I'm going to use some real red ink here, and I'm going to get this nice and inked up. and get that put over on this side. Pardon me if my head gets in the way here. I'm best off, I'm going to move this way down so I can see right over the top of it. Right in there. Hopefully that's straight. We'll see what happens. And there's my Merry Christmas. And I think that's pretty good. Got a little bit of a smudge on there, but I have a sand eraser. So I'll be able to get that off as soon as it dries there. Now I can put my arrangement up here and start with my ribbons down here. So I have set my ribbons out so that I have the 3 different lengths, and I'm going to add one to this one so that it's got 3 layers. And so I'm going to take my longest string here. See if I can get these put in the right order. I think this is the longest one. And I need a silicone mat for this and my dot runner. And I'm just going to put that dot runner along the bottom here and put that into place just above my Merry Christmas. There we go. And I didn't put glue on the ends because I wanted to make sure, oops, should be using ribbon scissors, make sure that this is cut off here so that it fits on the card. And then all I did was take a pokey tool. Needs to be just a little bit shorter, I think. There we go. And I just used the pokey tool down here at the base of this ribbon to kind of pull it apart, pull the strands apart. And I thought that looked so cute, nice and festive. And same thing on this end. And get those pulled apart. And they do better pulling apart if they don't have glue on them. So it is better to put the glue mostly in the center on this technique. All right, then the next one I think is this one, and it's going to need a little bit of an edge cut off of it. And I'm going to add my glue to the back side of this one. And again, I'm going to avoid those ends so that I can really fray the ribbon. And I put it right on top of that piece. And it needs to be a bit shorter. You can do a better job of measuring this than I did. There we go. All right. Then, going to take this and just fray these ends. And it looks like just a little bit of greenery. And I thought it was so different and kind of fun. And you can go as far back as you want to get as much fray as you can, and I think it's just real cute. All right, my last piece of ribbon here, I'm going to make quite a bit shorter. Let's see how that one looks. Yep, I think that'll work. Maybe just a tidge off of that. So this last piece, I didn't measure the others, but this last piece is only about 2.5 inches. So the others would be a quarter bigger and a quarter bigger than that. So if it's 2.5, it'd be 2 3/4 and 3. And that would get you what you needed. And on this one, I'm only going to put that glue right here in the middle. And put that one in place. I just thought it was such a different element and lots of fun. And just fray those edges for a completely and totally different kind of look. I just thought they were so cute. Okay, now building up top here, I laid this solid color leaf out of evening evergreen down first. And on these, I think we just need to put a little bit of snail just to get them put in place. And I want to put that one right about there in the corner, leaving a little room on the end so that when I put my berries here, it'll cover up all of those stems. Then on my one that I did first, I put this gold leaf right down in here. That should go underneath. Maybe. Let me add a little bit of dot runner to it so it'll stick down. And I'm going to use that pokey tool to lift this end and slide this gold one just slightly under this evening evergreen and sort of make that stem disappear. There we go, like that. Now these are just being laid down just straight on the card. I'm not lifting them at all, but there's, with the ribbon and the berries lifting them, I don't think you need a whole heck of a lot. So the next thing I did was put my vellum piece on, and I'm just going to snip that off. And then I'm going to use my tape runner that's made for vellum, and I'm just going to add little bits of it here and there. I'm going to take that blobby piece off and do that little corner again. Okay, there we go. All right, then this piece I'm going to lay right in here, and that's got enough glue just to hold it in place. Then the last one I put on was this old olive that kind of added just a little bit of lightness to it and gets us more towards this Parakeet party color here. And I'm going to add some dot runner to the back of it, and again I'm going to cut that stem off a bit, and I'm going to lay that so that it's across basically all three that are already on here. There we go. And I missed a spot, I think. There we go. And if you feel like something's coming up, a little glue dot can work wonders for you here, going in place like right underneath here. This a glue dot set right there is going to hold down that whole leaf. And I'll take that release paper off of there and then lay that down. And if it's up a little bit on the end, I'm fine with that. I think it adds some dimension. All right, so now I have my berries. I thought doing those berries there, and I'm putting them on with a little mini dimensional just so that we get some height here. So I'm just going to add a couple of minis. And put this in place right across here, and it's picked up just a little bit. Now then, I'm going to see if adding these little pieces of pine actually work here or not. I'm going to put a little bit of tape on the back, and then we can see if I stick them in, if they look okay. Oh, I think that looks fine. Yeah, I'm going to add, I think I'm going to add 2. Maybe stick one out on that side as well. Right in there. There we go. All right, all done. Now then, what I have for the bow is I have these 2 more pieces of Parakeet Party, and I'm going to tie a double bow here. There we go. That's a little bit more like it. Okay, now I'm going to pull ends down, tighten my bow. And the loops on the bow don't need to be very big at all, because I don't think that's where we want the drama, but I do want people to realize that there's two loops there, so I'm going to pull those apart, and I'm going to stick that bow on with a glue dot, and I'm going to pull these tails down here on the card, and let me put the bow in place. Then I'm going to just go nuts with this fraying of the ribbon ends. I'll speed this up so it isn't so tedious. Isn't that fun? They look a little bit like greenery. So I'm going to use a glue dot here or two right down here, and I'm going to make those tails go a little bit more where I want them. And there we go. Now we've got those fun frayed pieces, and then we've got these frayed pieces down here to match. And you can see what happened to me here. I had glued too far down, so you make sure that you let your glue only be in the center of these. But as the result of this, I've got my frayed pieces coming all down the card. It looks like I'm going to have to glue dot all of these little tails to get them more where I want them. But that's fine. Takes an extra second. And there we go. That's on there now, and then this one will just let go crazy. So there we are. That is our card front done, except for maybe a few red rhinestones. And I've got some right here. And I thought it was kind of fun. I added one red rhinestone to the center of one of these holly pieces, holly berries, and then just tucked a few little red rhinestones just to bring that red color out a little bit. I probably should have put this on the front of the card a little sooner than this, but it'll work. And maybe one more so that I've got an odd number. Oh, maybe one down here. There was that spot that I had from before. So there we go. There's my card front. Isn't that fun? Okay, so now we're going to add some, I'd like to add some seal to the back of this. And then, oops, my seal is running out. Okay, it just looks like I need to get a few of these little paper pieces off of there. And then this is ready to go on the front of my card. And just look at that with the red around the edge. Oh my gosh, that's just so pretty. And those nice little cute frayed edges there. So there we go. That is the front of my card done. All right. Now for the inside of the card, we have our white 4x5 1/4 piece. And I have one more piece of this pretty ribbon. And I thought I would put that ribbon on the long side of the card. So first I'm going to get some snail on the ribbon itself and put it down and anchor it on the back side. So we have a little bit of that sparkly green here on the inside. And there we go. Okay, all right. So now we have that. And then I thought it would be fun to take a couple of these pine boughs here, like this, and just adhere them to the card and then add this holly piece right up here. Maybe we'll do it going the other way on this side, and that would be the decoration on the inside. But I also have some stamping to do. On this stamp set, you have these different things. There's an ampersand, joy, and peace. And what I did was I put them on a single block here, peace and joy. And you could do this however you wanted. And I thought that stamping right over here in the corner would look pretty good. So this is photopolymers. So I want to get a cushion under here and give myself the best chance for success. So I'm going to put my peace and joy right over here so we don't have to worry about straight on the inside of the card. There we go. And then now all we have to do is add our decorations to this and our card will be complete. So I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of these little pieces of pine. And put them in place right up here in the corner. And then add this one coming maybe across the ribbon a little bit here. And then add our holly berries with lots of glue right up here in the corner. And isn't that just pretty? Okay, so next we are going to add some seal. Oh, that's right, my seal is out. Okay, we'll add dot runner. Just add a lot of it. And I'm going to put that on the inside of my card front. And I'll show you the things that I did differently on this one compared to the original one. But there we go. In there, isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh, I just love this little card. It's so pretty. And really, there's not a lot of background or texture or anything like that. And but I think it works. On this one, I didn't add the pine boughs here to the outside. And on this one, I added a third string of this pretty ribbon. And on the inside is the biggest difference. I did my peace and joy and my berries, but look at how much more rich that looks than this. It's just too plain. There's just not enough on there to make a difference. I will lift this one, I think, and maybe put my ribbon on this side on this, and I may, let's see, does the stamp set have the pine boughs? It does not. It does not. So maybe I'll stamp something else, or I'll just change this piece out because I like this so much better. All right, so then, let's see, I have my rhinestones on there. I have my Merry Christmas, and you'll have to tell me, I got a little bit of a stain on that one, but I do think I like this one better. It's got more substance up here, and I do love the inside much better. So that is my project for the day. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel today. I do so appreciate it. And if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, well, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Or you could join my team. There's an offer through the end of the month with Stampin' Up! To join Stampin' Up! And instead of the normal deal, which is $125 worth of product for $99, for through the end of the month, it's $155 worth of product for this $99. So there's just, it's a very good deal. And right now, if you join now, you don't have to have your first minimum until the end of March because they give you a full quarter. And since this quarter's already started, you get all of next quarter as well. I always do a $60 shopping spree on me, and the way you put yourself in the drawing is to put an order of any size on my store, lbedinger.stampinup.net, and you can get to it through my blog, www.inkandingenuity.com. And so that's it for me. I will be back soon with more cards, more projects, and more tips. Bye.